Now, was it me, or did anybody else get bored? I got bored. I felt like I needed to go. I had to go back at it again. It just didn't make very much sense to me. This was probably the worst second part of a reunion that I've seen in quite some time. Quite some time. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Listen, this is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. This is a reunion episode, or part 2 of the reunion. I'm late. I'm very late with actually even dropping my video because I literally had to go back and I watched this. I literally watched this and I looked on my paper and I said, all I wrote was Angela showed her birth certificate. And then I fell asleep somewhere in there. I literally fell asleep somewhere in there. I don't know how much of it I watched, but I had fallen asleep in there. That was on Sunday. I come back and I revisited again on Monday. And I watched the whole thing. And I hadn't written anything down on my notepad. I was still sitting, waiting on what was going. You're lying. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. All of y'all is lying. What is you talking about? All of y'all is lying. So we Shamia is a liar. Portia's a liar. Drew is a liar. Who else is left? Kelly's a liar. Kelly don't remember nothing she said, but they're ushering you in, sis. Because Bravo Andy, he don't play that. Oh, I don't remember saying that. And then he runs it. He go right ahead on and runs the clip of you saying it. Because that's how Bravo Andy get down. He's shady. So you're being ushered right on in. But it was just a bunch of, and Phaedra, you see, I didn't even say nothing about Phaedra. If Phaedra's mouth is moving, 9 times out of 10 she lying. Phaedra, they literally said, I said, now that's shady. When they actually asked Phaedra, why here, why now? Why did you show up for this reunion and didn't skip out on it like you did at Married to Medicine? I said, now that was a good question. But that really tells you something about how this went. When they have to literally, the Married to Medicine folk have always, Real Housewives of Atlanta was always their goal. I'm going to say that again for the ones in the back. Real Housewives of Atlanta was always the goal for Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine always wanted to be as big as Real Housewives of Atlanta. When did we get into a space where things are going so bad at Real Housewives of Atlanta that they're making reference to what went down at the reunion at Married to Medicine? Throw the whole shit in the garbage. Okay? And y'all know I love Married to Medicine, but the facts are the facts. Those ladies always looked up to these ladies. So, like I said, throw the whole shit in the garbage. It was terrible. And then, like I said, Sunday, fell asleep on it. Monday, goes and watches the whole thing all over again. Today is Wednesday. I started at the beginning and I watched all over again and said, now there's got to be something that I'm going to talk about in here, because you know if there don't be too much for me to talk about, I will turn around and walk. I just ain't walking because this is a habit. I've been with the show since the show first came on the air. This is just out of habit because this was horrible. Horrible. There was nothing really worth talking about. Seriously. Seriously. A whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Someone supposedly approached Angela and came up to her and told her, my name is so and so. She was somebody that was with Phaedra. My name is so and so, and I'm the one with the hands. So she supposedly had threatened, because that's a threat, had basically threatened Angela. And Angela's still trying to sell us that Phaedra did all of this, and it's all Phaedra's fault, and this, that, thing, and the other. Phaedra's still saying that she didn't do it, she had nothing to do with it. The only thing that I know as a truth is that I don't give a shit. I don't really care. I don't care about Junebug, and I don't care about the little weird man with the bald spot who came in there and said, what he had to say, and I don't even want to keep up anymore. I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't care. Kelly swore but damn she never compared Angela's her marriage to hers. It's just a lie. Andy rolled the beam footage of you saying it. Oh, well, I apologize. Girl, keep your apology. Girl, you lied. There's no need for an apology when you got popped. You've been popped. You should be embarrassed. There's no need for an apology. The popping is enough. Just shut up. Angela showed her birth certificate that basically said that she actually is 43, and then she turned around. That damn Phaedra said she's the oldest looking young lady that I ever seen, and she told her, she said, if I look 53, you look 63. I said, oh shit. Again, the little commercial that Phaedra had running during the season, reading, was more interesting. It was just so corny. I was like, this is ridiculous. Shamia and Phaedra, they kick up some old stuff about what happened with Candi. Candi's not here. So all that y'all had to say about the show could make it without Candi, and here we go. We talk about Candi, ain't we? We talk about Candi. We done made reference to Aunt Bertha. Can the show really run without Candi? Don't seem like it. Don't seem like it. Anyway, then this apologizing for the Candi stuff. Shamia wanted this apology and all of this. It's like, okay, but then they were like, Shamia, I never got a full apology and this, that. No, I don't feel no kind of way. Now, I was with Angela. What Angela said, yeah, you do, because you brought it up. You're still bringing it up, which means you still feel some type of way about it. And she said, well, I said, girl, they ain't letting you play victim, sister. See what happened? Shamia started off strong. Like, I was team Shamia in the beginning. Shamia started off strong, but then we got down here and we found out about halfway through that you are a mean girl. And you always tell the truth, that you literally are the left side of Portia's right side. And baby, they not letting you live in that. They not letting you be the victim. They just what? And they was like cutting her off. They was like, girl, no, not at all. Then we got the next thing that happened was Phaedra being out of order and out of pocket like she usually. She said that the panties in the dress was slicing into her thigh. And they're like, girl, well, just cut the coochie out. And I'm like, no, you know that old dumb thing ain't even no dress. It's a bodysuit. It's a bodysuit. She cut the coochie out. It's going to be riding up her belly and her coochie going to be on the damn couch. So I was like, oh, God. I said, ain't nothing like it, depending on what the fabric is. She said it was slicing into her. It probably was. That sheer fabric and that spandex, that stuff don't be no joke when it hits you the wrong way. I said, ooh, Phaedra, I felt bad for you, girl. Anything that ugly, and then it's uncomfortable to boot with a dumbass hat on. God bless you, sister. Moving right along. Right along. Then during the break, you got Portia lying Shamia and Kelly, they got a whole thing going on about it. This whole episode was really about who wasn't there. They talk about Brett. I can't believe she lied, and I can't believe she didn't show up. I said, look, the whole second part was about people who weren't there. Kenya, Brett, Candi. Really? The little man with the ball spot in Junebug. Really? Y'all could pull nothing together. Nothing. Is it just me, or am I the only one who wasn't? I don't think I've ever actually had to approach an episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta 3 times to actually be able to talk about it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Then Shamia, she talked to her husband. They won't let me talk, so I got, I got some things I want to say, but they just talk about. I'm gonna have to get in there and really talk. Well, go on and talk, girl. Go on and talk. Every time you talk, they pop you. Every time she started talking more when she came up, every time she talked, they pop her in some type of a lie or a half of a truth. And it was like, girl, you might as well just shut up. Might as well shut up. The only thing she did that was cool was she showed a picture of her girls, and her girls look so adorable in the picture. And since everything wrapped and all that, Shiloh has actually had 2 more surgeries. She came through and she's doing good. Now we love that. We love to hear that the baby's doing good, and they look so cute in that picture. But other than that, everything Shamia was just falling apart. Girl, your hair looked nice. Girl, I don't know. It started off so good and so promising, and it just looks like such a damn mess right now. Just nothing. Like, if they return, are you all going to return? It's really crazy. I'm like, this is crazy to me. Then Brett had a statement, and in the statement, basically, the photos they weren't actually her. So you mean this whole her and Kenya thing really all for nothing? All for nothing. It wasn't even you. And I was just sitting there like, why do I feel like y'all waste my time? Like y'all literally just wasted my time. And it's all for nothing. Now, what I thought was interesting, Kenya has literally cut Cynthia off. She's literally cut Cynthia off. She's not said anything to Cynthia ever since any of that stuff. I said, wow. This whole thing, you cut your ties with Cynthia altogether, and Cynthia seemed really shocked. But Cynthia, you did have a lot to say. You trying to act like you don't know who Kenya is. Kenya is who Kenya is. And you really were, I was mad at her, and I thought more of her, and she's better. You know that type of stuff. And then they took her money and messed with her money. Yeah, baby, I ain't surprised that Kenya ain't speaking to you. Not at all. Kenya Patty. She the queen of Patty. She twirled right on off. And you over there doing whatever that is you doing, going on, auntie. I said, girl, please. I wasn't shocked. Now, Drew and the whole, was that even interesting? The whole Drew with the fake bag? It's this bag right here. It's supposed to be a Judith Lear, but you had an Akira. Who cares? I think we'd have more of an interesting conversation. We'd talk about that little schmitty that she had right there. Who do you think you are, LaToya Jackson? Because that was more funny to me. That was more interesting. How you talk, so you let somebody talk you into putting a LaToya Jackson. You're going to get Rock Schmitty in the front of your forehead. That was more interesting than that shit with that purse. And I've said how I was so tired of wigs and baby hairs. Like, I'm so sick of everybody having this plastered down, glued down, damn gelled down baby hair, and everybody 105 years old. If you don't get on out of here, but you literally went LaToya Jackson with it. Girl, bye. Moving right along. Then we got Shamia and Portia back and forth. Lying. You're lying. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. No, you didn't come to my wedding. I did come to your wedding. No, I came to your wedding in the States. I didn't go to the one in Africa. And So what do you want? You want a toaster? Is that it? You need a toaster over there in that big, beautiful house. You need another toaster. Who gives a shit? It was just ridiculous. It just ridiculous. I just found out this season that you actually didn't attend my wedding because that we were beefing. You said it was a medical condition. Guess what I did? So I don't have a medical condition. I turned this shit off. I had enough. Season 16, part 2 of the reunion, a bust. A complete bust. It was horrible. Horrible. We're going to see what part 3 is like. If it take me 3 days to watch it, maybe I'm going to put my boots on the ground. You understand me? Y'all have a good one.